Our game is called Heist at the Museum, and the original idea was that we were going to blend Night at the Museum with Five Nights at Freddy's. So it was going to be sort of it's set in a museum, you're a night security guard, and the exhibits come to life, right? But these exhibits are not friendly. They're out to kill you. So you're trying to either fight off the exhibits or escape or something along those lines. We never really figured it out. And eventually we kind of just meandered our way into this new version called Heist at the Museum. And so a lot of the elements are no longer there, but some of the key parts are still there. So it is set at a museum. It's actually going to be in the daytime now. Museum's open. And so you are either going to play as a security guard whose job is to just protect the artifacts, or you're going to play as one of three thieves. And because stealing is bad, we were like, okay, let's make this sound a little better. Let's make them ethical thieves, which means that you are not just stealing for profit. You're trying to steal an artifact that was stolen from your home country, right? So it's almost like okay now because they stole first, so it's justified. And so as you'll see in a bit, the thieves are all going to have their own special abilities. Thief 1 is going to be able to turn invisible. Thief 2 is going to be able to have a speed boost. Thief 3 can see all other players on the minimap. And then the security guard is also going to be able to see all other players on the minimap. I'm running out of things to say. Let's see. Okay, we can also talk about who did what. So let's start with gameplay, because that is a very big part of a video game. Who would have thought? So we have Shuyang, Jessie, and Jessica, who are our gameplay developers, if they want to indicate where they are in the crowd. Or not? Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of the cool game logic you're going to see, like picking up and putting down the artifacts, the collisions, that all came from them. And then for the art side, we have our artist, Heather, who put together some very nice models, as you'll see in a little bit when they get the game up and running. So thank you, Heather, because that sounds really difficult, and I'm glad I didn't have to do that. We also have Sue for our graphics. So she's the reason that our game is not just a bunch of cubes running around in a black plane. So thank you, Sue. And then finally, we have Angie and I on networking. So we got the server and client up and running. And then as the game progressed, we were sort of working to connect all the various parts of the game together. We can also talk about our progress. So for a lot of us, we were working with new sort of libraries, like for example, Angie and I hadn't really done networking before, and I think Sue was like learning Blender, and there's a bit of a learning curve with OpenGL. So we started out kind of not really sure what we were doing, and there was a lot of debugging and a lot of kind of like scratching our heads over stuff that should have been working but wasn't. Yeah, thank you. Question, yes.
Was this always the plan, like this game idea, or did you have previous ideas for what game you wanted?
I think we settled, on the first brainstorming session, we kind of settled on the whole Heist at the Museum, thieves versus security guard. And so for the most part, it hasn't changed. I think as time progressed, because we didn't really flesh out all the finer details, so as time progressed, we started thinking about, okay, well, what happens if a thief picks up an artifact? Do they just hold it indefinitely? Can they put it down? If they put it down, does it go back to the original position? Does it just sit there on the ground? So the general idea stayed the same, and then we kind of fleshed out the finer details as time went along and as those sort of questions came up. Okay, so let's just discuss a little bit about what the game would look like. So you start out, everyone kind of enters the museum. We're also going to have a few NPCs, and the fun thing is that the NPCs and the thieves look exactly the same. So the security guard is going to have to figure out who's who, and the thieves can also use the NPCs to their advantage so that they can hide among the NPCs. And so we're going to start out, there's 3 rooms in the museum. There's going to be a statue room, a painting room, and a fossil room, right? And so one artifact is going to be randomly selected to be the one that the thieves are supposed to steal, except we're not going to tell them which one it is. So the first few minutes of the game are going to be them running from room to room and trying to figure out which of the artifacts is the one they're supposed to steal based on the fact that they can actually pick it up. And in the meantime, the security guard is going to be watching and trying to figure out who is a thief and who is an NPC. And so if a security guard thinks that they figured out who the thief is, they can go up to them and they can try and capture them. And if they successfully capture them, the thief gets sent to a little mini game, very heavily borrowing from Mario in that it's also a 2D platformer. And so from there, the thief needs to sort of platform their way back to like a window in the museum so they can sneak their way back in. And so then for the thieves, their mission is to figure out what the artifact is, evade the security guard, and then they need to carry the artifact with them to the museum entrance, at which point they win. And so for the security guard, they would win. So there's going to be a 5-minute timer. And if the thieves are unable to steal the artifact within 5 minutes, then the security guard wins. Yeah. Was there any other part? And we're also going to, oh, yeah, sure.
You mentioned NPCs. Does that mean that there's some sort of AI or NPC logic that you've implemented?
Yeah, not AI, but essentially what we do is we just say, okay, generate a random point, and then we're just going to increment the NPC in that direction. And if they hit a wall, then they're just going to stop, or they're going to immediately turn around and go somewhere else. Yeah.
Ask for some volunteers.
Oh, okay. So we're going to need 2 volunteers, like everybody else. So who wants to play the game? Don't be shy. Sure. I don't know your name, sorry. Anyone else? We need one more. All right, dude in the back. Sorry, I don't know names. Oh, okay, so start screen is up. I would say don't click on options because I'm pretty sure that doesn't work. Start game will start the game, and quit might crash our server, so also don't click on that. Thank you. There was supposed to be a slightly nicer looking GUI for the start part. We were gonna have our logo and a picture of a museum in the back and all that. But unfortunately that code's being a little finicky, so we couldn't incorporate it into our game. But if we have time at the end, we might be able to run a different version of the game that does have that set up, just so you can see what it looks like. And now we're on the character selection page, and as you can see, UI design is our passion. So you're going to select which character you want on the far left corner, and then you're going to hit confirm to kind of lock in your choice because we want to make sure every character is played. And so it's going to be Thief 1, Thief 2, Thief 3, and then Security Guard. Okay, someone's the Security Guard now. Okay, Thief 1 is chosen, Thief 2 is chosen. Okay, we're good to go. And all right, we're in the game. All right, so we can see the security guard. We can see a few NPCs, thieves, and they're stuck. I thought we fixed that bug. Oopsies. That's awkward. Oh, wait, no, someone's moving. Okay, now I'm confused. Do you guys want to comment out that block of code and rerun the server? This is definitely part of the game. Okay, I think we're going to restart. Any other questions? No? No one wants to take a little pity on me? Okay. Yeah, okay.
How did you design the level? What did you use to make it? Is it made in parts that you all export as all one big file somewhere?
The level?
Yeah, the map museum.
Oh. Heather! What does the museum look like? Is it just one giant, I don't know, mesh or whatever? Yeah, sure, come on up. If I can finally walk away.
How does the museum look like?
Yeah, sort of is it one file, various pieces that you stick together sort of thing?
So the floor and the wall are separate, the artifacts are separate, but they're all in the same file. But in order to make the artifacts interact with the players, I had to export individual artifacts in OBJ or FVX file. So yeah.
All right. Good answer. Any other questions? Yeah.
Which part of developing the game took the longest?
I think, well, see, the thing is we spent the last 24 hours kind of cramming in every last missing bit. So it's kind of hard to say, but I would say probably fleshing out the gameplay probably took the longest just because there were so many different components. And then once you stick them together, you have to make sure they kind of play nicely. And then you have to move it over to the server and client, which make sure they play nicely. So that would probably be what took the longest. But I would say the most difficult was probably figuring out how to do all the animations because we were having a lot of issues with files not getting loaded and textures missing and seg faults, and oh my gosh, Sue and I spent an hour yesterday trying to figure out why one of the artifacts wasn't rendering, and it turned out we were looking for a painting in the statue room, and the painting was just fine in the painting room. So yeah, that is our programming style. And are we ready to go? Yes, no. I should have been here for the other people's presentations so that I could borrow heavily from what they said, because I actually have no idea what I'm supposed to be saying right now. Thank you, I appreciate it. And this is recorded, so people can watch for years and years at how terrible I am at being an MC. Any other questions? Sure, I can't see anything. Yeah, what's up? Mm-hmm.
And I know that there are game engines that already exist out there, like Unreal. Knowing that, and like having gone through this project 10 weeks and whatnot, would you say that there is merit to making your own game engines when other game engines exist? And whether you do or not, if you were to make a game again in the future, would you make your own game engine, or would you use something that's already built?
Yeah, okay. So I do think that there is merit in making your own engine, and I'm not just saying that because Professor Volker is right there. I think that being able to see all the various pieces, like actually being able to see that code and writing yourself, helps you understand it a lot better, which makes debugging a lot easier. Because, for example, right, like I was working on the networking code for a couple of weeks, and so when stuff was going wrong with the networking, I was like, okay, well, I have a general idea of where I should go and where I should look, and then if that's not it, like I have an idea of how to do it. And I also think it's just you learn more that way, right? Like I know some more about sockets now. I know a bit about OpenGL and CMake and all this stuff. And I don't think I would have gotten that experience from using a pre-built game engine. And also, I just don't know how to use Unreal. So I would not use Unreal in a future game because I would probably have more bugs than if I just built it myself. Yeah. All right. Wow, they're not stuck anymore. That's amazing. All right, so we're in the painting room right now. That's a very nice painting. I guess we're not stealing that one. Okay. Where are we going? Shuyang. Let's look at the paintings. Okay, or not. Statue. Pretty statue. I guess that's also not stealable. Shuyang, you gotta look at the exhibits a little. Oh, they got caught. Okay, so this is our mini game. As you can see, very heavily Mario inspired, right down to the mustache. Okay, so the idea is to platform your way up to that museum window, and then you can enter back into the game. So go on, Shuyang, jump. Oh, that's awkward. Yeah, so we got this working about 10 minutes before we walked in here, and we were having issues loading the image for the thief, and I guess he's a little too large, so he can't. You're supposed to go through that little gap there, but ingenuity, y'all. Okay. Jump. Oh my goodness, he's flying. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. All right, almost there. Come on, go on, Shuyang, for the win. Oh. And you go back to the museum, or you... Ah! Wait, did someone win? Oh, we have a winner. Congratulations. So I guess I kind of missed that part, but I guess someone managed to grab the artifact and make it out the door without the security guard noticing. So nice job. Better luck next time, security guard. Yeah, okay. So now we're going to play another round. This time Shuyang's going to play the security guard so you can see it from the security guard's point of view. Yeah. Any other questions to fill this very awkward silence? No? Okay. What can I talk about? I can talk about the thieves. We had names picked out for the thieves. And you would have seen it on the nicer GUI, except we couldn't get that working. So Thief 1, also, I will preface this by saying that these names are in no way, shape, or form inspired by real-life people, and definitely not by real-life people sitting like in that direction in the front first row. So Thief 1's name is Jeffrey Bella. Thief's 2 name, Anthony's not here, not that it matters, Antonia. Thief 3's name, this is a shout out to the EC35 folks, is Curtina. And Thief 4's name is Volcarella. And as you can see, we are very good at picking out names. So if you ever have a dog, you don't know what to call them, you just let us know. We'll get a good name for you. All right, we're the security guard now. So we can, Shuyang, can you press E? Okay, so you can see in the mini map, everyone shows up for a little bit, about 5 seconds, and then they're gonna disappear again. All right, good. And so now we're gonna be, someone got sent to the mini game, get wrecked. Okay, I can't see that part. Okay, also the security guard, so for the thieves, if you pick up the artifact, you carry it with you. For the security guard, we were like, that's kind of weird. So we decided that the security guard picks up the artifact, it gets sent back to its original position. So that statue was by the pedestal earlier, and then the security guard picked it up, and it got transported back to its original position. Okay, so let's, I see someone, they're making a break for it. Get him. No, come on, grab him. Oh, okay. Yeah, we haven't really actually played this game. This is probably the first time that we're playing the game with the mini game and all that added. So there wasn't a whole lot of adjustment for difficulties. So maybe next time we'll make the security guard's game job a little bit easier. Okay, did we still want to show the GUI stuff? Where's Jessie? Okay, so we're going to pull up a separate branch, just so you can see how nice our user interface would have been if we had like another couple hours. Yes, question over there. I would get GUIs added in for a start. And I think we also had a few issues with there's a lot of bugs in this game right now. So sometimes, I shouldn't say this because this is actually my part of the code, but sometimes the server crashes intermittently. Thankfully, it didn't happen now. But like, for example, I would like to get that ironed out. And then we would like to sort of maybe more fully develop some of the features that we have. So for example, I think the pick up and put down logic is a little weird right now. I think we had to take out collisions for the other players because when they all spawn together, none of them can move. So ideally, we would have had them like spawn maybe a little bit spaced out throughout the museum. Same with the NPCs, have them spawn not just all in the main room, but like spaced out. And then also maybe add in a few more NPCs. But we didn't really want to stress the networking too much. So yeah. Any other questions? Because this is going to take a while. Yes, thank you.
What's one interesting optimization that you guys implemented?
I don't think we optimized. So, well, we did realize that we were sending some extraneous information from the server to the client. We were sending the base model and the model for the cube. But when you're rendering, you really only need the model. So eventually we realized that and we were like, let's just axe that. So we took out the base model. So we saved 16, that was a 4x4 matrix, so 16 floats and 4 bytes each. So 64 bytes. We saved 64 bytes per update packet. Yeah, I know, right? That's pretty good. Okay. Sure. Sue, you want to talk about animations? Yeah, you're not allowed to say no because I'm getting real tired of being up here.
Okay. So I guess I remember one of the previous questions was what took the longest. I feel like a contender for that would be animations because it took around 3 weeks to get it up and running. Mostly trying to figure out what was going on with the loader that we were using for the animation files. Still a little buggy. It glitches sometimes. Still don't know why. We'll figure that out.
They don't even know that.
Okay. And I guess you could also talk about that in terms of optimizations, because when I introduced the animation system, I also had to introduce a way of like having multiple models like play the same animation as like different instances, and to do that in a way that would run nicely, I did need to have it connected so that each instance would play from like the same animation structure. Like it wouldn't be referencing different models or skeletons. Yeah.
I see a question in the back.
Oh.
How do you do the padding for the AI?
The padding for the AI person. Come up here. AI person, where are you?
Is that usually Jessica? Did you do NPC?
That part is not actually really AI. So we kind of ask professor about this. So professor is saying that when the AIs are not powerful as for now, people are calling the random AI. So like just using, so what I got for NPC is just give them a range of maybe map, so it would randomly generate the next target, next position they want to go to, and then just if collision, change to another target. Yeah, so instead of AI, it's just more like randomization. Yeah.
Any other questions? Oh, over there.
You guys are doing amazing, by the way. It's really brave and courageous and just there. You guys are saying great things that hold our attention. Really good job. Besides that, how did you pick the artifacts?
How did I pick the artifacts? So I try to pick the famous paintings that ever existed in this history. So like Mona Lisa and stuff like that. And then there's like this AI generated Asian looking painting. I just wanted to include it for fun. And then for the statues, I downloaded them from Blender Kit to save some time because I spent a lot of time making the characters, like the characters that the users actually play, so I wanted to save some time. Yeah.
Over there.
What do the characters represent? How'd you design them?
Come back, Heather.
They don't really represent anything. I just came up with like the idea as quick as possible because we only have 10 weeks to really create the whole game. So I came up with the thief and the security guard by sketching them first, and then in order to make the 3D model, it's really good to have like a good illustration of the character in the front and the side. So I asked ChatGPT to create the front and the side because it's really good at doing that for 3D modeling. So yeah, that's how I did it.
Oh, sure.
Was the final image that is shown after you win also generated by AI, or was that also like drawn out or something?
Heather, wait, no, was that Heather? No, that was Jessie. Was that Jessie?
No, the image was.
Right, but who
Heather.
made the image? Who wants to talk about it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I think it was AI generated. Yeah.
Which one is being broadcast?
No.
Shuyang. Huh. You spelled submodule wrong if that helps. Okay. Yes. Any other questions? I can also help with spelling, not with pronunciation though, because I'm really bad at pronouncing words for some reason. No questions? Anyone? Yes, thank you. Heist at the museum. Yeah, thank you.
What feature are you or someone else on your team most proud of implementing?
Do you want to say something?
What?
No?
You don't have anything you're proud of?
Maybe we don't answer that question. I mean, I'm proud of the server and client I put together with help with Angie. It was very, very good up until like an hour ago, and then it started like crashing very often, which was a little concerning. But it was good up until that point. And also just like haven't really done any sort of networking before, so there was a lot of a learning curve. So I'm proud that we were able to come up with something like that. Yeah. Does anyone else want to talk about features that they're proud of? Because there's a lot of good ones.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
All right. I'll fill up time now. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Animation system, because I was really thinking there that I wouldn't get it off the ground. So yeah, that would be something that I'm proud of for the game.
Okay. Shuyang, Professor Volker volunteered you to also talk about your minigame as a feature you're very proud of. It's very good. We didn't do it justice. We couldn't. We kind of left it till the last minute, but it was very good. You want to talk about it? Okay.
So the minigame is a 2D game that we insert in that 3D game. For the minigame, it's actually much simpler than the main game, and we only need 3 components, like the background, the sieve, and the platforms. The other jumping functions are similar to the WASD control function in the main game. So for the mini game, what we want to do is like to show once you get catched, you cannot enter from the door to the museum again. So you have to find another path to enter the museum, for example, the window. And platform jumping is a normal 2D game that we can do that. So for the minigame, what is hard is to hard code the position of the platforms because the background of the minigame is also AI generated, and I cannot get the exact position of the platform. So I had to to enable to see the platforms and hard code to see which position is actually in and adjust it in many times. But however, if we got that, then it would be just simple to set the collision between the character and the platform, and you can get to the terminal and re-enter the museum. Yeah.
Yes, it was a very nice mini game. Nintendo sent us a cease and desist and everything because they were just that impressed about it. Yeah. What else is there to talk about? Any questions? Yes, thank you.
Do you guys have any real life experiences with museums that brought these concepts? Any real life desires to steal?
For legal purposes, I won't answer that last question, especially because this is being recorded. But I think we've all been to a museum before. I grew up in San Diego, so I went to the Natural History Museum a lot, and I thought, it's really pretty over there. I kind of forgot the rest of your question, honestly. Does anyone else want to talk about a museum they've been to?
Why museum?
Oh, I think we just decided we wanted to do something based off of Night at the Museum, and that kind of just was started it, and then it kind of went from horror game to like a capture the flag 3v1 sort of thing. Yeah. Is it working? Oh my gosh, we're compiling. Amazing. Oh, yes, thank you.
So, what are some lessons learned that you would pass on to the next generation of students who take this class?
Yes. So Professor Volker told us last night before he left, hey guys, don't break anything. And because we're such good students, we completely ignored his advice and broke our entire game and only got it working-ish about 10 minutes before our demo time. So I would say when the professor tells you to do something, he probably knows better than you, so you should listen to him. Yes. And I think maybe just don't leave key components of your game to the last minute if you can help that. Because the mini game was sort of left till the last minute, and then we were like, oh, it won't be that bad, and then it turned out to be really, really bad. So yeah, don't recommend. Any other lessons? Oh, I guess you want to talk about CMake?
Oh. Learn CMake ahead of time and learn CMake well.
And don't forget to run CMake ... because we keep forgetting to do that.
Oh, that is true. I'll probably forget that lesson though. I've done it multiple times.
It's okay. I'm starting to do it too. All right.
It's contagious.
I know. I think we're almost there. Please. All right. So we're going to pull up. Oh. All right. So this is the GUI that Jessie was working on. We tried. It's okay.
I was actually thinking of maybe showcasing my own computer, but I don't think you could connect. I have it running on my side. So.
Probably can plug it into something here. Okay, it takes a little bit to load up just because we have to load a lot of things animation-wise. Oh, we have music and a black screen of death. So the music is nice, isn't it? And what you would have seen, I think I mentioned it before, was Heist at the Museum and nice sort of Legend of Zelda sort of font. And then we would have had a museum in the background, and then you would have a start game, options, quick game. Yes, question?
Who made the music?
Jessie? Music? Who made the music?
I downloaded it from YouTube Audio. So if there's if it's working as expected, then there should be also sound effects.
Could you speak closer to the mic?
Oh, okay.
So I do have a lot of audio downloaded from YouTube Audio, which is like a free open source audio website. And then I had like, so the security guard, when she grabs like one of the thieves, then there's like a bang sound effect. And there were also footsteps, but the position was kind of like, it's using 3D positions and the volume is kind of weird, so I disabled that. And there were a lot of buttons in my UI, so there are a lot of different button clicking sounds, and that was most of the sound effects. Oh yeah, these are the components that mostly are AI generated. Okay, so why are these pictures upside down? When we have like 30 different branches, because we are all working on different components, and I was working on gameplay, and everything worked, but when I merged my changes onto our animation branch, everything was upside down. I tried to find the bug for like 3 hours, but it didn't, like, I couldn't find it. So we just ended up flipping the source image so that it turns out right in the game. Okay, let's pretend the sound is working. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so supposedly we could have this work, but it breaks. So there's a start, and then you get to select your character. There's a little instruction page, like the text telling you which keys to use, and you get to choose your character, and it shows up. So you click on this to clear the selection. You can also just choose whichever. You can randomize if you don't want to pick. And for each character, there's a story behind them, and it tells you different. So there's like different abilities for the characters, so you can read about them here. And once you decided, you would go into the game, and we set the game to be one player only, so there's no security guard after us, so we can just check which artifact we want to grab. Okay, it's not this one. So I don't know if we talked about, because I was debugging, but I didn't know if April already talked about, but the artifacts, there's only one that you can steal from each game, and it's random. Oh my god. Okay. The most annoying part, I think, like, the hardest part is to find a way to not run into the NPCs. But so I escaped. Oh no. Okay, I think that's because when I was debugging, I was hard coding in values. So I hard coded guard wins instead of like thief wins into that value. But yeah, it should be mission complete. But yeah, that's the UI pitch. Thank you for waiting for us to set this up. Any questions? Or?
All right, let's congratulate group 3.